My son had been serving in Iraq and Afghanistan for almost 3 years. He was assigned to some of the most dangerous jobs, and every day he was on the firing line. And every day he was there, I was burdened by a nagging dread that one day I would receive a message of despair. Last year, on July the 3rd, my phone rang in the middle of the night. I jumped up and immediately knew the reason why. The caller identified herself as a representative of the U.S. Army, and I knew exactly what she was going to say. Mr. Payne, I regret to inform you that your son has been killed in Afghanistan. Mr. Contest Master, members and guests, there are certain occasions when a person's life will flash before their eyes. On this particular occasion, my son's life flashed before my eyes. I remember back 29 years ago to the hospital in Naples. A nurse came out of the delivery room with a little bundle in her arms. She walked up to me and said, "Mr. Payne, meet Mr. Payne." Mr. Payne, meet Mr. Payne. That meant I had a son. I had always wanted a son, and now I had one. All night long, I could hear every church bell in Naples ringing. Sounded like the 1812 overture, rejoicing with me that I had a son. I remember such things as the super sandbox I built for him. I filled it up with pure white beach sand, and oh, how he loved to play in that sandbox. I remember all those campfires that we built and enjoyed together out in the back. I will always remember the joy and excitement on his face when his PAL football team won the national championship and he made the game-saving final tackle. He filled me with a father's pride when he followed in my footsteps to the University of Florida, where he earned a degree in business administration, as I did. After college, he joined the Army, as I did, and he volunteered for jump school, as I did. When he graduated from jump school at Fort Benning, Georgia, I went to those ceremonies, and I took with me a set of jump wings from my old Army uniform. As I pinned those wings on his chest, suddenly something dawned on me. Those were the same wings that were pinned on my chest 40 years before. The same wings that I wore when I jumped with the 82nd Airborne Division, and the same wings he would wear when he jumped with the 173rd Airborne Brigade. All those memories and more cascaded through my mind as I steeled myself for the message I was about to receive. And the caller said, "Mr. Payne, I regret to inform you that your son has been seriously injured in Afghanistan. They tried to kill my little boy, but he is alive." She went on to say that he was injured when his vehicle was struck with an IED. That is a fearsome thought. IEDs have been known to rip apart main battle tanks and bodies. I just knew he'd lost an arm or a leg. But the caller assured me his body was intact. And then I just knew he had to be paralyzed, maybe from the neck down. And that's when she hit me with the revelation. He could not move his legs. He may be confined to a wheelchair, but he is alive. And then she said something encouraging. He had feelings in his legs. I'm no doctor, but I believe that was good news, and it was. Within hours after that horrendous explosion, a titanium backbone was installed in his back at a hospital in country. And then he was flown out to the big military hospital at Landstuhl, Germany, and then over to the famous Walter Reed Hospital in Washington, D.C. After that, in just a few short days, he was sent right here to the VA hospital in Tampa, where they have a world-class spinal cord injury clinic. And today, not only is my son alive, but I know in my heart, with the grace of God, he will walk again. So Staff Sergeant Richard Warren Payne of the 173rd Airborne Brigade, I salute you and wish you Godspeed on your recovery. And now, whenever my phone rings in the middle of the night, thank God Almighty, I no longer dread the message. Now here is a message to every parent in this room today. Please heed my words. They come from someone who has been down that path. Good or bad, cherish your children. Hold on to them, embrace them, love them, because you never know when you may receive a message of despair about them in the middle of the night. Mr. Contest Master.